Welcome back to part 2 of Meet the Pros with Dave Essler. When we finished up the first segment, we were talking about volume, and you were talking about, when you first started, Dave, you're a volume player. You like to play a lot of games, but when you became a pro, you felt a different sense of responsibility. Let's pick up there and elaborate on that.
Well, personally, I probably bet more games than I put out. But I don't want to bury anybody. So what I like to do, people that you've already seen what I do is I'll usually make 2 or 3 or 4 plays a day. I like to spread the risk out a little bit. I think since I've been selling, I've only had like 2 days where I've lost all 3 games. It happens. I hate that, but it happens. But by spreading the risk out, I've been able to grow units, 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 3 at a time. And that's just the way I would personally prefer to do it, because that's the way I do it. Mm-hmm. I don't like to put all my eggs in one basket with the play.
Right. It's a situation that, we have different discussions at, pregame in the forums and that. You'll hear the old school, new school, school of thought and which way it is. Obviously, I'm old, so I'm old school.
But you're not the oldest anymore.
No, I'm not the oldest. I do like that. I got to bring that up every now and then. But it's a situation that it's smart. I mean, to me, I think your sports betting is an extension of your personality. And me as a person, I don't like to take unnecessary risks. I like action. I like to get the best of it. I like the odds in my favor all the time. Who doesn't? And, I agree with the conservative approach because I look at sports betting, it's a war. It's not,
Absolutely.
It's not there's a bunch of little mini battles. Being a historian, a day is a day. And what you want to do every day, for me, my mission is win the battle of today.
Correct.
If I win today,
you can fight tomorrow.
And I win tomorrow, or I won yesterday, and at the end of 7 days, I won more of those little battles than I lost, then I won the week war. And then you put the weeks together, you've won the month war. Mm-hmm. And then the month war becomes the season war. And that's how you do it. You have a losing day, you have to turn the page. And I know it's tough, and it happens to me, and I know you feel the same way. When you have that losing day, you feel bad for. I don't feel bad for me because I.
Well, I do.
I do.
It's my money too.
It's my money too. But again, like you say, I bet every day, win, lose, up and down,
right.
Different things. It's just another day for me. I understand that for other people, it's not that type of situation. That one losing day is meaningful to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And that's something that you've got to remember in this business, and it's something that I saw with the sincerity in you right away. Talking old school, new school, there's different styles of handicapping.
Really?
First of all...
You told me at lunch it was only your way.
No, unfortunately there's not. But there is no right or wrong. That's the one thing that we talked about. Everybody has their own style. And again, capper X and capper Y, they could be totally opposite. If they produce a profit mm-hmm. for their customers, mm-hmm. that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how they get there, what philosophies they use, whatever. It's about end results. This is a business about results. With that said, if I had to say to you, Dave, what type of capper are you? Well, how would you describe yourself? Are you a statistical handicapper? Are you a situational handicapper? Or do you look at the market? There's a lot. We have everybody at this mm-hmm. site. Who is Dave Essler, the handicapper?
That's a good question. I try to all of the above. And to me, I think it varies from sport to sport. We talked at lunch. Baseball to me is very stat-based mm-hmm. to me because it's more of a one-on-one game. It's easier to see. And then there's the situational, and then there's a market. So I'll go through the whole day. In the morning I'll go, okay, well, this guy's pitching. This is, on paper, this team should win. Mm-hmm. It's not that easy. And then I go into the situational things in the course of the afternoon. Well, they're coming back from a long road trip, yada, yada, yada. oops, the so-and-so is not playing tonight, yada, 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 and then there's the market. Unfortunately, you got to make your plays at some point in time.
Right.
So you can't take 16 hours like I like to do every day.
Right.
So I try to factor them all in. In football, it's a lot more situational to me.
Mm-hmm. And the thing with the last part of it with the market analysis and in saying about, there's X number, you got to make the play by a certain time. I've got a horse racing background, and I can tell you firsthand that when the barn's betting their horse,
right,
they're not betting their horse at 15 minutes to post. Okay, that bet's coming in the last 2 minutes of the.
Absolutely.
Because they don't want to tip their hand, because horse racing is a market where, depending on the amount of money bet on that particular horse, determines your payoff, obviously. So they don't want to let the entire world know their horse is live until that window's about to close, and they can suck up the best odds.
The
for
22 to 1 instead of the 7 to 2.
Absolutely. So that's a situation that that's something you can't get around. But being experienced and watching the market, you can see things during the course of the day where you pretty much know what's happening when, if a game's sitting, just example-wise, if 75% of the money's on one side of a game and that line hasn't budged.
Well, then it's time to pull the trigger before it does.
You know what's happening, or you
stare at that screen long enough. There's lots of deja vu stuff going on. Yep.
And you know that there's enough money, say, on the dog that's only got 25% of the action that's keeping that line balanced, and then late the big money's going to come.
Do I want it at plus 140 or plus 120?
Yeah. So there's obviously things to learn, but I agree with you. Using a little piece of all of the style of handicapping, probably is the best all around.
Well, because I've had to I don't want to say I'm self-made, had to start somewhere, but I admire something that everybody does, whether it's a forum poster or another pro. Everybody's got something that they do well. So I've kind of looked at it and, just try to incorporate all of it and continue to grow so that I continue to get better. Because that it's a grind. I mean, it's a cliche, but it's 365 days a year, 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day.
Absolutely.
And you got to keep yourself fresh. So you got to incorporate new stuff and learn new stuff and throw out what doesn't work and get more of what does.
And again, this is the beauty of pregame, and not to sound like a pregame testimonial here, but this is what makes the forums so great, because you get to see new perspectives from not only forum posters that come in, and again, let's go back. You were a forum poster before you were a pro. Okay, so a lot of people got to learn some things from you and different things that you did, but the pros interact in the forums as well, and just doing videos like we're doing today, and we're doing a Meet the Pros about you, but we're actually going to do another video where we actually talk about a few handicapping theories and things that...
Did you buy my place today?
Did I buy your place today? No, I didn't, but...
I can't give that stuff away.
Well, I'll have Dustin go look in the back end and tell me who you got. Did you buy mine today?
I did.
Oh.
I bought a month.
Did you? All right, cool.
I wish you'd release your plays a little earlier.
Oh, that's good. But the situation, it is, you get to learn from different people. And
you do.
Can add stuff. And I can honestly say that, as long as I've been doing it, I've learned more things, just in the interactions of talking with other people, and see things that, some little tidbits that they use that maybe I didn't, that I could add to my arsenal. And hopefully I know that some of those guys took some tidbits from me and put it into their arsenal. And it makes everybody stronger, I feel. As a handicapper, we kind of already touched upon it, but, with football season, that's the king. I mean, let's face it, anybody that bets football.
Anybody that's got a bankroll bets on football.
Okay,
and those that don't have bankrolls bet on football.
Some people had bankrolls before they bet on football, now they don't, but that's another story. It's a situation, if I'm a customer and I come to pregame and I'm looking at Dave Essler, what can I expect on a Saturday or a Sunday in a number of picks? Football's different than the day-to-day sports because you're working all week for 2 days. And I agree with you. I'm not a guy that likes to have exposure. I'm not going to have 8 games in one day because I got games every day in baseball and basketball. But in football, you're working all week for basically a 2-day window of opportunity. And sometimes you have to make more plays just because the games are there. They present themselves. We want, as a handicapper, we're looking for anything that we feel gives us a long-term edge. If I bet Team X in this scenario or situation 100 times, I'm expecting that I'm going to win 55 or more times. That's all we're asking for. So if I'm a customer, what can I expect in football season from Dave Essler?
In college or pro?
Both, separate up.
I make as many plays as I can. I mean, at least a handful. I've kind of, in the NFL, I'll do 5 plays on Sundays. For me, I think it's easier because you do have all week.
Absolutely.
And, lines will come out early in the week. Well, that won't stay there. Okay, let's play that now. Lines move, market moves late. Well, let's play that now. So I'll probably have 4 or 5 plays on Sundays and probably at least that on Saturdays. I will personally play more than that, but I will put out, probably the best 4 or 5 anyway.
And we always say it, I mean, every pro has daily packages available in the game. If you have a capper that you like his style, you like his commitment or the way he does things, his approach, the best way to buy a capper, honestly, for value and just common sense, and I'll explain what I mean by that, is to buy a package now, because anybody can be good or bad on an example of one. If somebody buys you today and goes 3-0, 4-0, okay, that doesn't mean that you're a genius. It doesn't mean you're not either.
All right.
Okay, but it's a case study of one.
Yeah.
Where you make money is over the long haul, and have that 30-day or full season to go with. Plus, it brings your costs down.
I agree. I mean, buying the daily packages at $20, per play is, why would you not? I mean, if you found somebody that you liked and that you trusted, no matter who it was,
and sometimes
you're not going to quit betting.
Right.
So if you're going to get help, get someone you trust and do it.
Yeah. And trust is the key word, and I think the other word that should be used is comfortable. You want to be with, if you're with somebody that does play a lot of games and you're comfortable in doing that, then that's the perfect fit for you. If you're not comfortable playing a lot of games, then you shouldn't be with a capper that does, because you don't want to do something that's out of your comfort zone.
I couldn't agree with you more.
So, I mean, those are great.
I love the people that will actually get one of my plays. I interact with a lot of my clients now, and they go, well, I don't agree with that. I'm not. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm glad. Win or lose, you have to, that blind faith is tough.
It is, but sometimes, the blind faith works the other way too, which can be a negative, is that everybody has their own opinions. And I can tell you through the years how many times I had a customer call up, when I talked to them on the phone with my phone service, and if I gave out a particular team and it happened to be a team they liked that day too,
they're all excited.
All of a sudden, a play that might have been a 2-unit play now becomes a 5-unit play for them because, Marco agrees with me.
Oh, you give out the other side, and it's dead silence.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really?
So it's all crazy. The last question, we'll wrap up Meet the Pros, and this was great getting to know you, Dave. Is there any one game you can remember, you bet, one that had just a crazy finish to you, or, felt like a kick in the,
Yep.
You want to get off your chest?
Well, it's off my chest. Yesterday is off my chest. But, I don't know, 20 years ago, the Celtics playing the Knicks, and being from Boston, I'm betting on Boston. Giving up 17, I don't care, they'll win by 30. I got this. And they were winning by 25 with about 3 minutes to go, and the Knicks get a few points, and they're winning by 18 with like 1 second left on the clock. I'm good. Patrick Ewing is walking off the court at the other end of the court, and the Knicks lobbed him down the ball, and the clock was clearly on 0. I mean, he had his shirt half off. He turns around, dunks it in the back, and they count it.
Oh, jeez.
Like, are you kidding me? I'll never forget that. That was before they had the 10th of a second thing. Oh, right. I would have won that bet.
Would have went to the instant
yeah,
replay.
no doubt.
Yeah, we've all
That
had
was also probably the squarest bet I ever made. Yeah, I'm betting on my home team, laying, this is probably pre-3-point shot, so we're talking, 8 possessions.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Great stuff, Dave. It was great to get to meet you. We're going to do a couple other videos. Check out Dave. We're going to talk about some handicapping theories and stuff. And let me tell you guys, this guy's legitimate. You saw what he's done in the forums. He was a legend in the forums. But, he sincerely does care about his customers and the work ethic that he has. It's great. Check out Dave Essler. Great addition here at Pregame. And Dave, great having lunch with you and meeting you. And don't be a stranger. Come back to Vegas.
Planning on it.
Okay. I know you like that pool. But that's another video.
Speaking of it.
All right. Thanks for watching Meet the Pros. We'll be back with more of the Meet the Pros series with our other cappers. Thanks for watching.